Arsenal are finally Premier League champions. Built on positional play heavily influenced by Pep Guardiola, Arsenal have become one of the most dominant possession teams in Europe. But Arteta didn't stop there. While many teams use chaos as a weapon, Arsenal have become one of the few teams capable of controlling. Today, we're breaking down the tactics behind Arsenal's title-winning campaign. Arsenal primarily operate in a 4-2-3-1. David Raya starts in goal. At centre-back, Saliba and Gabriel remain one of the strongest partnerships in Europe, with Mosquera and Hincapié providing depth behind them. At fullback, Arteta relies on athletic defenders who combine defensive solidity with attacking quality. Hincapié, Calafiori and Timber are the primary options, while Ben White and Mosquera provide additional cover. In midfield, Zubamendi's arrival brought greater balance alongside Declan Rice. Towards the end of the season, Lewis Skelly also emerged as another option in the number 6 role. Further forward, Odegaard struggled to consistently reach his best level following injury problems. As a result, Eze was frequently used between the lines rather than as a traditional winger. On the left, Martinelli and Trossard both improved compared to previous season. On the right, Saka remained Arsenal's primary attacking threat, while Madueke provided depth on both wings. Up front, repeated injuries to Kai Havertz opened the door for Victor Gyökeres, who gradually introduced a completely different profile to Arsenal's attack. Arsenal's biggest improvement this season came in possession. With a more balanced midfield structure, they developed a clearer and more consistent build-up system. They typically operate in a 4-2-2-2 positional structure. This allows them to create numerical superiority around the first line of pressure, while also establishing a box midfield centrally. Combined with constant rotation, Arsenal are able to disrupt opposition pressing scheme and progress the ball cleanly. A common pattern begins with Zubamendi pushing forward to create space behind. Raya can then find Saliba with his left foot, while Rice moves into the newly created space to form third-man combinations and bypass pressure. If opponents follow Rice aggressively, Gabriel is often left with more space to advance possession. Rotations are equally important. As Zubamendi pushes forward and Rice shifts across the pitch, Eze frequently drops into midfield to exploit gaps between defenders. Trossard also moves deeper to provide an additional passing option. Against man-oriented pressing systems, Arsenal have another solution. If defenders are dragged out of position, Gyökeres attacks the space behind the defensive line, while Saka makes runs into central channels. These direct patterns provide an alternative route when short combinations become difficult. Gyökeres in particular offers something Arsenal previously lacked. His physicality and pace allow Arsenal to progress vertically and force opponents backwards when under pressure. Once Arsenal enter the final third, last season, Lewis Skelly frequently inverted into midfield from left-back, allowing Rice to advance into a more attacking role. This created the familiar 3-2-5 structure. The back three provided stability, while the front five generated numerical superiority higher up the pitch. This season, however, the arrival of players such as Hincapié and Calafiori has changed the dynamic. Both possess the physicality and attacking qualities required to operate much higher up the field. Rather than remaining deeper, they frequently advance into midfield zones and contribute directly to attacks. As a result, Rice now spends more time controlling games from deeper position. Meanwhile, Arsenal's double pivot often rotates into the back line, creating a 4-player build-up core. This improves possession, security, and allows Arsenal to sustain pressure for longer periods. Timber also pushes forward aggressively. The fullbacks and wingers constantly rotate between wide areas and the half spaces, creating a highly aggressive 2-2-6 attacking structure. When Arsenal attack through the wings, they often create isolated 2-against-2 situations. The fullbacks can make blindside runs into the box, or create space for the wingers to attack in 1-against-1 situations. Despite all these improvements, Arsenal's attack is not without flaw. While positional play allows them to dominate possession and control matches, their structure can occasionally become predictable against deep defensive blocks. At times, Arsenal lack the spontaneity and unpredictability needed to break down compact defenses. Odegaard's inconsistent form reduced Arsenal's creativity between the lines. This was one reason why Arteta experimented with Eze in central areas, giving him greater freedom to create moments of individual brilliance. Gyökeres also faced challenges adapting to Arsenal's combination-heavy style. His link-up play was not always as effective as some of Arsenal's previous forwards. However, when matches became more open, his ability to attack space behind the defence provided Arsenal with a valuable alternative threat. He scored 14 league goals and became Arsenal's leading scorer, although his limitations in tight spaces were occasionally exposed. More than anything else, Arteta's Arsenal are defined by their ability to control chaos. To understand why, we first need to look at a broader trend in modern football. Across Europe, more and more teams are embracing a direct and chaotic style of play. Out of possession, teams press aggressively to disrupt build-up and force opponents into long balls and physical duels. In possession, they often look to bypass pressure with a single direct pass, attack the second ball, or exploit the spaces left behind by an opponent's pressing structure. If they win the resulting duel, they can immediately attack an unbalanced defense. Even set pieces have become part of this trend. Teams use physical battles to generate foul before attacking from dead ball situations. The objective is simple: create chaos, create unpredictability, create situations that are difficult to control. And in the Premier League, where physicality plays an even greater role, many underdogs rely on this chaos to create variance against stronger opponents. But Arteta's Arsenal have taken a different approach. Rather than avoiding chaos, they have learned how to control it. Over the last several years, Arsenal have systematically built one of the most athletic squads in Europe. As a result, they are comfortable playing direct when required. They can compete physically, win second balls, and dominate aerial duels. Out of possession, Arsenal apply organised and intense pressure to force long balls before regaining control through their physical superiority. The moment possession is lost, all 10 outfield players immediately react to recover their defensive shape. This allows Arsenal to form compact defensive blocks extremely quickly. Combined with a physically dominant back four and David Raya's performances in goal, Arsenal finished the season with the league's best defensive record. Set pieces have also become a major weapon. Under Nicolas Jova, Arsenal became one of the most effective set-piece teams in Europe, both offensively and defensively. This allowed them to break down stubborn low blocks while limiting opposition threats from dead ball situations. Arsenal are no longer just a possession-based side. They are a team capable of controlling both the game and the chaos within it. And that control delivered a long-awaited Premier League title. Now only one challenge remains: the Champions League final. Can Arsenal overcome PSG and establish themselves as the best team in Europe?